Okay, for those of you with Freewing T-38 Talon RTF, or even the ARFs, I know I have come across some of you who wanted to make it a gearless jet, being a hand launcher belly lander, and the problem being that, if I can get my cat out of the box, problem being the nose gear, because it's attached to the push rod inside the foam, basically on the inside, which is not reachable by normal means. So I know what some people have done, and what I had contemplated doing was cutting it flush to the bottom where it would attach, where it enters the bottom of the fuselage right there. But that means if you ever decided to want to put it back on, you're SOL. The mains are not an issue because the mains just pop out. So right there is where they go in, and you can easily remove them and replace them whenever you want. So what I'm going to show you is how I just figured out how to do this and be able to put the nose gear back on if you want to do it later. So what you got to do is remove the canopy, which is it's glued on but very, very lightly, so you can just pop that off, no problem, and put a couple of dabs of glue to reattach it, no big deal. And then the turtle deck is held down by a couple of pieces of scotch tape, no big deal there to remove that. Now what happens here is, it's since been removed, but this little collar here is where the push rod would come from the nose gear, and it would go under the arm, the servo arm, and it would come into here, and you would tighten those screws, and that's what activates it. So obviously the first thing you have to do is loosen these two screws and push the collar back so you have freed up the push rod in that location. And then what you do is, I kind of did this by hit and miss, but in the end it worked well. You can cut this pilot pilot location out in a nice little square, so that can be removed like so. And then the front of the instrument panel also, you can cut that. Now what you need to be aware of here when you're cutting this is this kind of bulkhead here. When you're cutting it, I first started cutting it straight up and down, and then what you have to actually do is cut this on an angle. Let me show it this way. So you have to cut it like that, on an angle like that, as opposed to like this, to free up the piece you're removing from the bulkhead there, or partial bulkhead. So once you've done that, what you have is, well, from the bottom, first of all, here's the nose gear removed. There's two Allen screws there. You remove that and this will come off, no problem. But the push rod will be left. I put a piece of tape on there just to hold it, but this push rod is left inside, and this part here will be sticking out the bottom of the airplane. But what you do is notch out, get some good light here, notch out like so towards the front of that hatch you just cut open, and what'll happen is you freed it up so that it'll make room for this extra bit of push rod to clear there, and it comes out really, really easy at that point. And also easy to replace if you want to put it back on. And then of course you put your hatches back on like so, and I lost the other one. Oh, there it is. So you can replace your hatches, a couple dabs of CA, and they'll stay on there until you need to take them off again. And there you go. Put your canopy on, your turtle deck back on. Oops. Right. Put your tape, a couple pieces of tape on the turtle deck, couple dabs of CA on your canopy, and you now have a hand launcher belly lander. You've just taken a whole bunch of weight off, and I haven't flown it yet in this configuration, but I will, and I expect it to fly quite a bit faster. The other thing is, if you want to get really serious and you want to lose, this collar here is now dead weight. It's not doing anything, but really the only way to get it off is you would have to remove the clevis from that control horn, unscrew the clevis, and then you'd be able to push this collar all the way down off the end of that push rod and replace everything back there. I tried getting it off at this end. I removed the servo arm, remove the push rod from the servo arm, but obviously the opening in the collar is too narrow to fit past this this Z bend here, so you'd have to go the other way, and I just didn't feel like doing it right now. But that's what you would do if you want to get rid of that weight. I don't think it'll make a whole bunch of difference, but some of you are serious about weight, and that'll do it. I figure since the top of my rudder or top of my vertical stabilizer is busted off, that should make up for the weight that I'm carrying with that collar. So that's about it. Try it out and have fun with it.